Doggone it, I meant to put a little title, but I clicked live too quick. So hopefully you all find me. I mean, it's going to be the only thing live on the page. My head wrap's a little crazy. Let me tuck this in. Yeah, but I'm going to give y'all a few minutes, to find me before I get started. Welcome. I'm hyped. Day 1 of Get Into It with AMINA. This is the day, first day. I like to call it activating the transformation, or the transformation begins. If you have your workbook, you don't have to fill it out while you're doing this process, but I am going to go over what's in the workbook, as we go along, so you know how to, fill it out. So what I got in store for you guys today is just a little opening. It's the start on your journey. So it's pretty much your first steps of what you need to discover or find out about yourselves before you can really start the process of activating yourself intuitively, because that's one of the main things I'm focusing on. Get into it. So that should tell you right there. One of my main things is opening up the intuition, clearing the chakras, grounding your energy, giving you ways to emotionally ground, mentally balance yourself out. And this week you'll be getting some of the tools as well as some assistance. So I'm going to show you the tools, to an extent. And at the same time, I'm going to also be offering you some guidance. Now, before I even start, I wanted to go through just a breakdown on what intuition, intuitive gifts, psychic stuff, all the stuff you probably hear about and you're like, I don't know, it's taboo. Or you grew up thinking it was something you could not talk about, or something that is not good. A lot of people like to associate it to evil. And so let's just break down that now. I'm sorry, as y'all can see, I for some reason forgot to put my my jewelry on, and my Oshun, my divine feminine energy is like, girl. So let me just put something on real quick. For some women, it's makeup. Like, I cannot go outside without having makeup on. For me, it's my earrings and my crystals. I have to have them, otherwise I feel nude. Now I feel better. Okay. So first, I just wanted to break down intuition, intuitive gifts, psychic gifts, clairvoyancy, clairaudience, whatever, all of the different gifts that we may have been, or you may not have been, brainwashed into believing is something you cannot possess, something you cannot harness. It's you thinking you're God, the creator, and all of that is a myth. So right off jump, I want to start by making it clear that everybody on the planet is intuitive, but not everybody taps in. That's the whole thing. Not everybody believes in their own inner knowing. Most people are looking outside of themselves for the answer, which makes people turn to religions or certain cults and things like that, because you're seeking the answer somewhere else instead of realizing the answers within. Now, if you're guided to go to these things, that's your intuition telling you, that's what I need. I need a foundation. I need a home base where I can really start to connect to the Most High. But there's other ways to do it as well. Sometimes it takes work. It takes time. But the main thing it takes is trust and faith. I would assume most people that are drawn to me, my tribe, believes that they are children of God. So let's start there. Now, when you come from your parents, we all pick up certain traits. You might look similar to them. You may be into the same things they're into. You may have some of the same gifts that your parents had. Oh, my mom was an artist, so I'm really good at drawing. Or my grandmother was a great cook, so I have that same gift. So if you're a child of God, of source energy, why would you have no resemblance, no connection at all to the source except to be fearing, God fearing? And to me, why be afraid? God fearing what? Of the discipline that may come your way when you are not living in your light? It's the same thing as when a parent disciplines their child and because you're not on the right path. You're doing something that is considered not where we're directing you to go or to do or to be. Not saying all whoopings and discipline is fair when it comes from humans, but it's all a part of your journey. So even if you feel like, I had parents who treated me unfairly, or they might have been abusive, or they were over the top with their discipline, trust and believe it was a part of your journey. It made up a part of who you are now and who you're going to be. So I like to start by saying you do possess similar gifts as a child of God. I do believe that we are all brothers and sisters of Jesus Christ, but however, we are not. None of us here have reached his level of holiness. Even the most holy person has not reached that level where you love completely unconditionally. You give completely from a place of unconditional love, not wanting anything in return, not wanting any recognition, just doing because that's what your spirit is moved to do. Why? Because you are a child of God and still connected. The issue with us here, I feel like, is a lot of us have disconnected. We feel like God don't hear me unless I'm on my knees praying. God's not hearing me. I pray every day. I'm at church every week and I feel like my prayers aren't always answered. Or God hears some of what I'm saying, but not everything. And I feel like as an IN-TUIT, you have to be tapped into source energy. So that's number one thing that I believe. I do not believe that anybody, and not everybody agrees with this, I do not believe that anybody is just psychic. Like, I know the future. I can tell you what your future is going to be. I feel like you have premonition, you have intuition, and all of that comes from being connected to source energy, your spirit guides, your ancestors. You get little niggles, like little feelings, like I know something's not right. I know something's, maybe I shouldn't go that way tonight. Something's telling me not to take that path. And those are just you being guided by source. It's not like you can see the future and control the future, but yeah, maybe you got a little vision that from above, they was like, wait a minute, look out, let me chill, don't do that. So I just wanted to start that off because I know a lot of people, especially if you are part of a strict religious set, you will find that intuitiveness is not embraced. Having a gift where you're tapped into your inner knowing is not embraced. And so I don't want anybody to get turned off and block any of their gifts based off of that. I'm going to tell y'all a quick story before I even go on. I actually had an opportunity to work with some children that my sister and her son and his wife were working with. And it was a part of a religious place, a church. I guess they would consider it a church. But it was a school. But it was in the church. And they had their own idea of what was considered holy and what was not, which I wasn't aware of. And first off, they didn't want the African dance syndrome performed in the church. Why? I don't know. Oh, he told me later, I didn't know what you guys were conjuring when you're singing songs. I said, the song that means peace and blessings unto you, that's what they were conjuring, light and love. But because of his beliefs, he could not open his mind to that idea. We were conjuring something. And after I explained, he said, oh, thank you for explaining that, sis, because I was like, what are they calling on? What are they this? And then I started to do the show, the performance, and explain to the kids about ancestors. Well, that was a mistake because it almost turned into an argument where he literally interrupted me in the middle of my explaining this to the children and showing a mask from Africa and telling them the history. that there are people that are chosen in the tribe that secretly learn these stories and histories about their ancestors, and some of them are able to take on the spirit of their ancestor. Oh, no, no, no. This is him in the middle of my performance. We're not going to have no mass dance. I said, huh? He said, no, we're not going to do the mass dance today. We're not doing that here. This is in front of children. So I'm already getting nervous, like, wow, he's going to have these kids thinking this is something evil or scary. So, long story short, we had a little bit of words, and I was just like, he kept saying, with all due respect, which I guess that meant it was okay for me to keep interrupting you. And I said, with all due respect, I'm just going to finish the show. And I did say to the children, I said, I just want to leave y'all with this. Don't ever let anybody make you afraid of your ancestry. Please don't let anybody make you afraid, because that's what they do with these movies. You watch these Egyptian movies. What do they show you? Oh, you ain't gonna want to go to Egypt because mummies are there, and your ancestors may raise from the grave and kill you, and the mummies never raise up peaceful. They're always coming back and they want to kill and murder. And so it does give you a fear. They'll show you sacred ceremonies where they're connected to ancestors, maybe in Haiti, and they'll say that's voodoo, and they give voodoo this horrible connotation, when really translating the word voodoo, it means sacred. But you would never know that from how they make it sound. And it's traditionally voodoo, not voodoo, which is what, you know, westernized culture changed it into. But all that is to say, I'm also saying that to you guys, do not be afraid, because these are things that I cover. Ancestors, spirit guides. I mean, even after I did the show and I took the mass dance out, the pastor came over to talk to me. And I told him, I said, you made me very sad today. And that's all, because I wasn't even angry. I was like, you really made me sad. And he was like, no, sis, no, you know, I don't want to do that. I'm just saying, we don't teach the kids about ancestors here. We don't believe in that. I said, but you teach them about Jesus Christ. He's an ancestor. Jesus Christ is the Holy Spirit. I said, he was once a man. So he's an ancestor. So if you're teaching them about Jesus Christ, that's one of their ancestors. He kept glazing over that. Then he said, I didn't know what you guys were conjuring. I said, well, we conjuring? Well, what are you conjuring when people catch the Holy Ghost? What's that? That's not possession? He keeps skipping over that. Oh, we don't do the ancestor thing here, but you believe in the Holy Ghost. Okay, and you believe that a man could die and be resurrected, come back by the grace of God. But you don't believe that our ancestors, the spirits, they're still here. I understand you don't teach about the ancestors, but to me, if the kids are getting an opportunity to learn something about their culture, because this was a school of minority children, I hate to say that term, and I just felt like he was brainwashing them. Don't be afraid of this. So for all of you that may have grown up in a system that made you fear your powers, your gifts, your ancestors, I'm here to erase all of that, okay? If you wonder who I call on, I had somebody ask me that one time. What spirits are you calling on? What do you got? Where are you getting your messages? My ancestors. I tap into ancestor energy. If I'm reading someone else or in trying to tap into them, I call on their ancestors. Spirit guides. That could be anybody from a friend that passed away that stays with me or stays around you, or past lifetime, which a lot of people don't want to believe in either. And also, and that, I don't push that. To me, that's you. You believe in it, you don't believe in it. You believe you're only here one time, you die, and that's it, then you better work this life. You better work it out, because you only got one chance. And I, you know, to me, I'm like, if you don't believe that, that's fine. And I call on God. Source energy is the first thing I tap into. I can't do anything I'm doing without God's support. So, you know, that's pretty much what I tap into. I do not claim to be, I just go, and I just have these powers, and I am God. I can tell you your future and what not to do and what to do. I offer you guidance based off of my intuition. And yes, everybody has intuitive gifts, but the problem is that we run into, and even IN-TUITs, is being able to trust your own messages. So even those of us that are intuitive end up having to turn to another intuit and say, can you pull some cards for me, girl? Or can you just feel my energy and tell me what you're getting? Because this is what I'm getting, but I might be just getting that because it's me. You know, you don't really want to see the negatives that might come up for yourself. So you got to let somebody else make it clear for you. And so if there's any questions, you know, in regards to my spirituality or whatever, I'm always open to respond. I always tell people I don't claim a religion. I've been to probably every church in the book. We started out in our childhood going to a Lutheran church. And that's what I knew growing up. I did not know the African Methodist churches until I got older and our grandmother started taking us to Allen AME Church in Queens, New York. And that was a whole new world for me, going from, you know, sitting in church where all I was looking forward to was Sunday school, going downstairs, getting that hot chocolate and them cookies. I didn't even care about what they were teaching for the day, as long as I didn't have to sit up there and the songs were like, he walks with me, he talks with me, to going to a church where they were like, you know, everybody's up there. It was more energized that I am a conqueror, victorious. That kind of, my soul was like, oh, okay, I could get down with this. I memorized all those songs. But at the same time, I could sit with my friends who do Ramadan and do Ramadan with them. And I can also go to a Bimbe with my friends who are initiated in Yoruba, and I could sit there and be accepted. So because of the work I do, I cannot claim one religion. If I come off and I say I'm Christian, then anyone who's Muslim, people who are in different beliefs are going to look at me and say I'm coming from a Christian point of view. If I say I'm Yoruba, then people who don't believe in the Yoruba spirituality will say, oh, she's into that. You know, people that see it as witchcraft, which it is not. But you know, I'm just saying different religious views of other religions can cause a block for me in the work that I have to do. And if you are a light worker, you're going to find that during these next 7 days, if you are in a strict religious sector, that you're going to start to question some of the beliefs, some of the ways. And that is because God is coming through to wake you up. Like, this is a universal church. There is no one religion. There is no one. This is the right one. That's the right one for you. And maybe this is the right one for you to tap in. But they're all to motivate you to tap into God at the end of the day. So that's my mission here, is to reconnect or just remind people of their connection to God, the power within themselves to manifest and to realize you are a creator. You're a descendant of a creative energy. So you're going to be a creator as well. So you do have the power to manifest. And that's very hard for people to comprehend when bad things happen in the world. They're like, oh, so those people manifested that, or they wanted that to happen. And that's not necessarily it either. But that is talk for another time, another session. Today, I want to talk about shadow work. When I'm doing my programs with people who join my program, the first thing that you work on is your inner child. I don't really like calling it shadow work. I call it inner child soothing, because I feel like when you say it's shadow, it makes it seem negative or dark or something that's dark and hidden and taboo. All it is really taking time to look back at how your past experiences have affected you now. All right, that's all it really is. You look back, and a lot of people don't want to look back. So that's what makes it difficult. And you're going to get a little pick a power read that's going to not show you your shadow just yet, not your inner child work. That's on Transformational Thursday. That's on Thursday. Today is just, we're activating the transformation. We're getting it started, getting ourselves open to really taking a look at ourselves. And that's the first thing I do. Before you can be a guide to other people, and I don't care what line of work you're in, you're working in some way, shape, or form in service or with people, unless you have a job where you just sit at home and you don't even talk to people online. Everything is automated for you. But in some way, shape, or form, you are working for or with or in service to people. And so there is a need to sometimes stop and just check yourself, and that helps to improve how you interact with others. You have to take a step back and look at within. So the first thing I do is my inner child soothing, and I usually will pull some cards that will let you know, and that's going to happen, but we're not doing that till Thursday. It will let you know where you need to look at your inner child, where you could need a little work, and what you've already been working on or what you've already worked through. So, for example, you might find that some of your inner child shadow work has to do with guilt. Maybe you didn't realize that the guilt you often feel when you do things you want to do that goes against what somebody wanted you to do stems from something that happened in your childhood or your youth, where maybe your parents asked you, for example, my father, he ain't on this, so I can talk about him. My father carried the guilt for a very long time, from when he was younger. I would say not a child, but earlier in life, where he felt guilty because before the same year when his father passed away, we were leaving his home. We used to go every summer, and that specific summer he asked him to come back and stay with him, and he kept saying, no, Dad, we'll see you next year. Oh, I'll see you next year, we'll be back. Nah, Dad, I'm not coming back, I'm not staying. And there was no next year. And for a minute he carried that guilt of feeling like, wow, that's how I know the story, because I didn't see my grandfather ask him, but my father talked to me about it. He asked me to stay. He asked me to come back and stay with him, and I refused. And now I feel bad because the next time I'm going to see him now is burying him. And you don't realize that maybe as you go on through life, you start doing things to avoid the feeling of guilt. Or every time you make a choice that you feel is for your betterment, I hope that's a word, you feel guilty. Like, wow, maybe I shouldn't do this. This person asked me to do that. And you don't even realize it's stemming from that one specific incident. I used to have, sometimes still, and that's why meditation and breathing is very important, but I used to have little panic attacks, and I didn't realize what they stemmed from initially. I just was always like, I don't know why, but when I feel like something is about to pop off, that's, New York lingo, well, everybody says it. When I feel like there's about to be some kind of incident or altercation, I can already feel my adrenaline. Ooh, oh my God. And I start my heart. Bum, 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 bum. And it might not even be me in the midst of it, but I could already feel myself starting to panic. And it took me a while to remember that happened to me the first time I watched my boyfriend get into a fight. And that's the first time I think I was like, oh my God, I can't breathe. And I feel like I'm going to faint. I feel like I'm going to faint. But I kind of forgot about that incident. And after that, whenever I would feel that happen to me, I would just be like, I'm having a panic attack. Well, I feel like I'm having a panic attack. And it took some time to really sit and reflect and go, you know what? The first time that happened, or where that's triggered from, is watching that happen. And from there, whenever I felt like some kind of altercation was going to happen, I automatically went into a panic. And we have a lot of situations like that. A lot that you're going to find out during this journey. But today, what we're focusing on is what you need to let go of. So that's what this 3-pal pick-a-pal is about. I'm so happy I have my new camera holder showed up like within an hour before I had to start this. I was like, thank you, because if y'all saw what I was using before, you could go to some of my last YouTube videos and you'll be like, oh, wow, that wasn't doing too good. She has to keep moving it around. Now, I like the stand because I can turn it downwards and you can see the cards. But today I'm not doing that. Today you have to look at me. Sorry. And I will hold the cards up for you. Sorry, not sorry. Hope y'all cool with that. But let me look at my notes because I'm a rambler. If you're new here, I can go on and on with stories. All right, I'm on track. All right, so pretty much what I wanted you guys to start doing today, and it says in your workbook, I have mine over here, that there is going to be a lot of reflection. You have to reflect today. Before you can gain new wisdom, new knowledge, you have to do the work to clear out the stuff that's already embedded in you. So one of the things you're going to be asked to do, I believe, in the workbook, is reverse affirmations. It's where something you've been told a lot about yourself, now you're taking it and you're flipping it. So for example, and a sister friend of mine, Michelle Gugelmeyer, she had recently posted something that reminded me of this. And she was talking about how for all her life, she was always told you're too much, or you're too wild, or you're just too much. And it causes you, without realizing it, to kind of dim your light. And then I reflected. I said, I remember when I was always told I'm too deep. I swear I've had boyfriends tell me that, oh, you too deep, man. You're going too deep, or you're emotionally too deep. I'm not there. And it would make me reel in my emotions. Like, oh, okay, so they like a cold bitch. That's what they want. Because when I'm emotionally open, I'm too deep. When I use the words that fully express how I feel, I'm too deep. And so for a while, it caused me to be like, okay, well, I'm not going to be deep anymore. I'm just going to keep it, hold it in. And, I'll let my masculine energy shine through more so than my feminine, balancing with it. And it took me a while to reverse that. And what I want you guys to do today, even if you didn't get the workbook, at some point in your day, make a list of things that people told you, or things that were embedded in your mind that maybe you affirmed without realizing it. Like maybe somebody told you was, and there's people who are going through this, you're dumb. Oh, you too dumb to do that. Oh, you gonna mess that up because you're dumb. And this and that, or you don't know nothing about that. You're not smart enough to do that. And I want you to take those stupid things they said and use them as fuel. Oh, you thought I was dumb? Well, take that and make it an affirmation. I'm wiser than I appear. You can always use that if you don't believe it. Because sometimes when you've been beat down with the same thing over and over again, it takes a minute to flip that energy. For a while, you might be really believing what the person is saying to you. You're dumb. You can't do that. Or you're not that good yet. You need more experience. And the negative things that'll make you, after a while, you'll say them to people. They're like, yo, why you not doing that? You real good. You should be doing that. And you're like, I'm not that good. Cause I'm dumb, yo, or I'm slow, or I'm not, I can't get that. I'm not that good. And you start to repeat the stuff that somebody else said to you, or might have made you feel without saying it directly. And now today, we reversing that shit. Flip it. Do not keep affirming that, and catch yourself when you do it. If somebody's like, hey, you should do this, or you're real good, and you're like, I'm okay, I'm not that good. Catch yourself. Oh, thank you. And then you can affirm to yourself. You ain't got to say it to them, but I am good. I'm great. I'm awesome. I'm amazing. I'm wonderful. And stay in that vibration, because that's the vibe we're going to be in for this week, is flipping and erasing embedded past beliefs. So that's one of the things that you will be doing if you have the workbook. If not, you can always do that on your own. Some people said to me that is stupid. That should be the list. And I believed it. Now, what I really believe and what I realize about myself, And if you're here, you are great, because we all in the same tribe. If you were drawn here, it's because we share a similar energy, or a similar mindset, or a similar path that we're on. Even if we don't have the same beliefs, or the same cultures, everything like that. We're still drawn in because there's something that's connecting us. So, y'all have the same gifts and abilities to do the same stuff that I do. So, one of the things I wanted to give y'all was 4 ways that you can, when you feel like you can't escape your past, because sometimes that's difficult too. It's difficult. One of the keys, I don't want to say it yet. Well, I'm going to say it. One of the keys to escaping your past is getting rid of the people that no longer serve where you're going. If you have decided this is where I want to go, but everybody that's around you is content down here, trust and believe they're going to be an anchor when they feel you elevating. They're going to be like, where the hell they think, where so-and-so think they going? Hold up. What is you doing? What is that you trying to learn? What is this? And they will make you doubt everything about yourself. And those are the energies that you have to let go of. These are the people that will be what I call your outside conditioned voice. You have the inside one. That's the one we're going to deal with on Thursday. That's that inner child. The inner child tells you what to do based off of past experiences. If you never took the time to heal and comfort that inner child wound, then it still sits there and it waits for another experience similar to the one that hurt it before to remind you. So say, for example, you had your heart broke I wouldn't even say in a relationship. Maybe you were pursuing a career and you really loved it and you felt like, I'm ready now. I'm ready to take this next step. But your inner child remembers a time where you was ready to step up and step out and people didn't receive you well. Maybe you were told you ain't ready. Maybe people laughed. Maybe people ignored you, overlooked you still. As soon as you're getting ready to make a move again that's similar to that experience, your inner child goes, remember what happened when we did that before? Yeah, we don't want that to happen again. And it'll talk you down. And you'll start to remember like, yeah, I remember. Yeah, that was a bad experience. I don't want that to happen again. So maybe I shouldn't do it. And that'll keep you down. Your outside voices will be the people that are no longer serving a purpose in your life. They'll be the outside conditioned voice. They'll be there to remind you. Remember when, and that's how, if you want to escape your past, you want to let it go. Sometimes you have to let the people go that won't let you let it go. The people that want to remind you. The people that if, say, you were a heavy drinker and now you don't, want to remind you of when you were. Oh, you don't drink now? I remember when you used to drink every night. You used to be wasted. Used to be not knowing what's going on. Used to be oblivious. Used to be, and it's like, okay, but I'm trying to elevate now. But you want to keep an ankle on my ankle. Like, no, we want you to stay here because we're not ready to elevate. So you ain't going nowhere. Those are the energies you have to shake. And it's difficult because a lot of times it's the people that you was like this with. That's why they know all of your stuff you did in the past because they were there. But when you're ready to elevate, that's like the number one thing you're going to realize you have to do is let go of some people. Now, the 4 things that I have are real simple. The letting go of people is difficult. Yes, especially if they're really close to you. It's not that easy. But these are things you can do without letting go of the people that can help shift your mindset at least. So one of the things I have, when you feel like you can't escape your past, talk to your conditioned self out loud. I do that and I look like a lunatic. I don't care. I'll do it in my house where I'll be I might be talking to my daughter like, yeah, so I'm about to do this thing and I'm a little nervous because I remember when last time, and my conditioned voice will start talking out loud because I remember the last time I did it and I didn't get that many, good response. So I don't know. Maybe I won't do it. Maybe I shouldn't do it. And then I'll catch myself and I'll be like, you know what? Yes, I can. Why am I? No, I'm not listening to that. All right. So inner child, we've been through that before. We got hurt, but we got back up. So we're going to do it again. Can't nobody keep us down. And then I give myself a pep talk, pump myself back up. Sometimes your ego can be a great savior if you know how to use it. Your ego, if you talk to your ego like, what? We afraid? Are we scared? Who are we scared of? So why are we not doing what we want to do? We scared of somebody or something? Is there something that happened to us that we did not make it through? Let me know. And then you could kind of pump yourself up because your ego's like, oh, hell no, I ain't scared. What? And then now you getting amped up. So that's one of my things. Talk to yourself out loud. Hey, people walk down the street and sing rap songs out loud and don't give a hell. So you could do the same thing. That's still talking to yourself. Also, second thing, I would say, write it out. And my sister Tisha has a nice thing she does on Wednesdays. It's called Write It Out Wednesdays. I believe that could help. You could maybe find her on Dream Catchers and Butterflies. That's her page, but she does it every Wednesday. But I do suggest writing it out. Sometimes as a dear blank letter, or just write it. I've been through this. I survived that. It keeps trying to pull me down. I keep feeling like I can't progress, like this past is heavy on my back. But now I'm going to let it go. So these are the experiences I want to release. These are the ones I want to let go of. That takes me to number 3, which means look at it. Look at it and see why you hold on to it. Certain things that have us conditioned, we don't even take the time to look at it. That's why when you feel blocked or you feel nervous or you feel afraid of an outcome in doing something, you don't know why. Because we don't take the time. When certain negative things happen to us, we dwell on it and then we try to bury it. Okay, I don't want to talk about that no more. You always hear people saying that. I'm not talking about that no more. You know, all right, well, that happened and now I don't want to talk about it no more. But just because you're not talking about it don't mean it's out your system. It's just waiting for a trigger. And then it'll come right back up and you'll see that you still have the same feelings about it when it comes back up. Now, I've had that with people that I've had issues with. And I'll be like, I'm not even talking about that person no more. I'm not even going to talk about that incident. But let 2-3 years later, their name come up. The whole incident will come back. And I'll be like, so-and-so, I remember them. Yeah, the last time I saw them, this is what happened and blah, 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 blah. So not talking about it don't do a damn thing. For me, you need to look at it. Really understand, why am I afraid to do this? Why did this person affect me? Why does this trigger me? And when you can really look at it, yeah, you're going to cry. I literally looked at mine on YouTube. So there's a video up and I hope nobody finds it. Not that many people saw it. And it's about triggers. And it's where I was realizing why certain things triggered me. And sadly, at first I was blaming it on an ex. And then I realized it was deeper than him. It was my dad. That's where the initial trigger started of my feeling of never being good enough. I always felt like I'm not good enough. I'm doing this, I'm doing that. But this person always rejects me and chooses someone else. And I looked at it as, oh, you know, exes and friends have done that. I've had ex-boyfriends who I thought everything's great. We're a perfect match. And then they turn around and they find somebody else. And I'm like, oh, okay. I guess I wasn't good enough. This person was better or offering more than I could. This is how I was taking it. I've had friends where I felt like we were besties. I bring them with me everywhere, introduce them to everybody, help them get a leg up in their career, what they want to do. Because I've been dancing since I was 3. So anybody that wanted to be a dancer and get into the community, if you were my friend, you're going to know the people I know after a while. And these people would get in and then be like, good looking, I don't need you no more. When I see you at class, act like I don't see you. I won't be calling you anymore. And yeah, I don't need you anymore because I'm in. And then I see them hanging with this is the new it people. And I'm like, okay, I guess I wasn't good enough. Maybe I'm not, this person has more opportunity for them. This person is giving them more of what they want. Maybe I don't know. And I had to stop and really look. And I said, you know what? This stems from my father. And sadly, I had to that was exposed on YouTube because I was talking about triggers that day. But I really realized, I said, wow, that stems from my dad, because I would always feel like no matter what I accomplished, he either played it down, like, oh, you did a little something, but I wish you would have did this. So it always felt like, not good enough still. I always thought you were going to be like this big Broadway star, but you've been to Africa, so that's good. These are things that were said to me. Okay, wow. Maybe I didn't want to be a Broadway star. You know, oh, you want to do a dance school, but I see you had a little storefront. So my dance school was a storefront when I had a dance school. And I was like, wow, played that down. And then when he did go to start a new life with another family, he had another child that was in that family already, who I saw her photos all over the house as I'm growing up and visiting there. And I'm like, okay, so she's my replacement, this girl. Oh, and then I had to hear about her. She's going through law school. I wanted you to go to school for this and that and blah, blah. So I realized, long story short, that the beginning of feeling rejected was not from my boyfriends and my friends that had done it. It came all the way from my dad. And had he made me feel worthy from jump, then I would have known my worth already. So when I was getting rejected or somebody else was chosen over me in my other relationships in my life, I would already been in a place of knowing it ain't me. Because, I mean, it can sound conceited, but you notice most of the people that are stars have a little bit of an arrogance. And I would already know, like, well, it's not me, it's them. I'm good. You know, I know I'm good enough. But I had already came up with the mindset that no matter what you do, it ain't good enough. You should have been doing that, or this would have been better, or at least you accomplished this, you know, because you didn't really do anything great. And it took me some time to work through that. And I thought I had until the day I was talking about triggers. And then I was like, oh, shoot, I guess I'm still in my feelings about this a little bit because I'm like crying talking about it. But that's one of the things you have to look at it. After I looked at it and I sat there and literally cried on social media. I don't even remember if I was live or not. I don't remember. But after that, it was like once I saw what the issue was, and then you look at the people or the person who put that image on you of yourself. And most of the time they're damaged. You look at them and you're like, okay, well, I looked at my father and I said, well, look at him. He was an alcoholic. He was a drug addict. He's had his own damage done to him. He has stories where he felt not nurtured by his mother and things like that. And after a while, I started to put it together and I was like, this is somebody who was already damaged and feeling rejected and abandoned by his own mom. So now he's turning that energy towards his kids and he's not realizing it. You know, you're not good enough. You're not doing this. You should be doing that. And once you can look at it and see where it comes from, you feel so much lighter. And it's one of the processes that I take my, I hate to say students, and I don't like to say clients either. So my tribe, my soul family, that's what I take them through when I work with them one-on-one. It's not you. Take a look at where it's coming from, and that's usually the root. And then my last thing is real easy. I always say whenever I'm feeling plagued by that conditioned voice, my inner child, something that's giving me anxiety, like to move forward with life and things I want to do, I stop, 4 deep grounding breaths. Sometimes you just have to reconnect to your center. One of my friends said it really good. She was like, call yourself back, Amina. You have to call yourself in. This was on another time where I was feeling like, I'm losing myself. And she was like, breathe and call yourself back in. And I'm going like, what? And then she's writing me like, Amina. And so I literally I took 4 deep grounding breaths, and the whole time I'm saying to myself, like, Amina, like, come back. Remember who you are, blah, blah, blah. And it really worked. It really worked. That's why I said sometimes the ego, if you use it right, it can be a tool, because your ego is not going to let you fall but so far down, you know, unless your ego has been completely beat down. Then you might have a little bit more work to do to pull yourself up, because now you have to heal the aspect of yourself that thought you was great, you know. And so, yeah, that's my 4 little tips. If you feel like you cannot escape the past, which is that inner voice that's not always your voice, that's trying to hold you in the past. So what I want to do now is give you a chance to see what aspects of yourself you need to let go of in order to move forward. Each card the first card I have is going to give you the vibe for the week, where you need to focus, all right? Then after that, you're going to get an archetype card. Archetype card is going to tell you your positive attributes and your darker side if you're not working in your light side. You take whatever side resonates for you now. Maybe you feel like I'm in the shadow aspect of myself right now. I'm not really in the lighter one. Take it how it resonates. The other card is the surrender card. It's going to let you know what you need to let go of in order to kind of ease some of the things that trigger you, or some of the things that may be challenging or blocking you. And then I believe I got another one after that. Yeah, and then the last card is about activating inner peace within, and it's going to give you a question and a little bit of a guide towards where you want to head, or where you need to head, and what you need to ask yourself in order to get a clear idea of where it is you need to be heading. Okay, I'm going to show you 3 objects, and that's how you're going to choose your read. This, of course, is a general reading, so everything is not going to resonate, or because we are all a part of the same soul tribe, every pile may resonate with you. So that's why I always say you can listen to each pile. I say choose one, and that's going to be the main one for you. And the other two will be side tips. You'll probably find little things in there like, yes, that's me. Yeah, I need that. After I do the card read, I'm going to pull individual cards for my VIPs. If you did not sign up as a VIP, sorry for you. You don't get a personal card pull. Your personal card pull today is going to be a tarot card, and what it's going to do is give you another idea of where you need to focus this week. You know, it'll give you more clarity, but it'll be more personal. Like, you need to focus on this, not the tribe. All right. Tomorrow's session, we are going to do some visualization and some movement. Tomorrow is all about introducing you to steam. And to myself, I'll give you a little bit of my personal journey, how I came up with the whole technique, and why I do what I do, and then show you guys how to do it as well. The steam routine, which is the staple and the foundation for soul transforming energy and movement. And I have some more certified people, 2 more. So I will soon not be the only one that is doing it, which is great because sometimes it can get overwhelming. A lot of different, having to work with so many different energies and being the only one that can supply that, what they need, you know. And honestly, I feel like if you're doing any type of healing process and you're not moving in some way, there's still gonna be some energies that just aren't flowing in your body. In some way, shape, or form, you need to move. Even if it's yoga, you know, even if you're just doing yoga, even if you sit and you do in a chair movement. I teach steam while seated for those who are unable to move from the waist down. That's just a side note. And I was thinking about doing that too sometime this week. But I feel like movement is very important to get the energy moving in your body. So if you are not moving as a part of your healing process, there's still going to be some stagnant, stuck energy within you. So let me give you the 3 objects. I'm going to give you 3 things to choose from. You select either by, if you're drawn to the number 1, the number 2, or the number 3, or you can choose by the object. So let me grab them off my table. I was going to turn the camera down, but I said, you know, today, let me just leave it because I just got this stand and I don't want to break it. I don't want nothing crazy happening. So we're going to keep it where it is. This one keeps calling to me. I'm going to use crystals for you to select from, actually. I have 3 that are standing out right now. Okay. So, pile number 1. This is your object. If you feel drawn to this crystal or the number 1, then your surrender message is under pile 1. Pile number 2, sorry, I didn't want to take it out of the holder because I wear this, is represented by this black crystal. If you feel drawn to the number 2 or this crystal here, then your message is under pile 2. And last but not least, pile number 3 or this crystal. And we do have a session on crystals as well. It's one of the bonus days, I believe, the first bonus day. If you feel drawn to this crystal or the number 3, your message is under pile 3. So I say taking a deep breath, whatever comes to you first, that's the one, okay? Don't try to sit and really ponder. Go with whatever comes to mind first. Whatever, even if it's just a number and you're not drawn to any of the crystals. Or you're drawn to the crystals and not a number. Just choose from there. I'm going to sage very quickly. I do a lot of readings in this spot and I've been getting nudged like you have to clear the energy. You have to clear the energy. So I'm going to do that real quick before I pull your cards. Okay. So pile number 1. If you were drawn to pile 1, or this crystal here. This crystal is a golden healing quartz crystal. It's also heart-shaped because it's all about healing wounds to the heart. All right? If you were drawn to this, there may be some instances in your life where you were heartbroken. It doesn't have to be on a romantic level either. Whenever people talk about the heart or love, they automatically assume it's romantic. No, you could have had your heart broken by a family member, a friend, a situation that happened. Maybe you wanted this job so bad and you didn't get it and it just broke your heart, or you didn't get recognized in the way you thought. Whatever the case is, my pile 1s, you have some heart chakra healing to do. Some wounds there. Some things that really hurt you emotionally. So let's see what you have to focus on for this week. By the way, this week is new moon energy. So set your intentions. One of our sessions, actually the transformational session on Thursday, where we look at the inner child wounds, is during a new moon. So that must mean we are bringing cycles to an end that day and starting fresh. But I'm going to tell you now, start to set your intention and your intentions for what you want to produce under this new moon. New beginnings, new projects, and also watch your emotions. You know, anytime the moon is at play, you might be feeling very emotionally sensitive. And that's even more so if you're a water sign. All right. And then it also depends on the sign the moon is in. This new moon is in Leo. Okay. So my power 1s. So this week you want to focus on, wow, you'll be doing this, cleansing. Okay. And don't take it as you need to go take a bath. It's all about cleansing your energy, period. So your keywords this week are rebirth, which is great because you know what, initially, this program I'm doing this week was initially called the Rebirth Challenge. So you are in the right place. You'll be, keywords also are alignment, which you'll be getting your chakras in alignment, and higher consciousness. So my power 1s, you are in the right place at the right time. Your power thought, which is an affirmation, clear thoughts and a clean body open the door to the future. Clear thoughts and a clean body open the door to the future. Your action that you can take this week to get your cleansing energy flowing is substitute a meal with fruit or vegetable juice. Good luck with that. I wouldn't substitute a whole meal, y'all. Okay. If you feel good with that, then you do that. And also opening a window or a door where you can let in some fresh air. That's also cleansing for the house. Sometimes we don't realize keeping all your windows shut and just sitting under the AC is circulating the same energy around, and the same air. Crack a window, let some new air in. It's like a natural cleansing out of the home. All right. And your news flash this week, this is something you're not expecting. You have guidance from above this week. Someone is listening. Okay. So you're being told that you are being guided, which is obvious at this point. That whole card to me was highly resonating with the path and the journey you're going to be taking this week with me. If you're making it here every day, which I hope you can. And if you miss, it'll be posted. You can always come and watch the replays. But yeah, someone up there is listening to you right now, and it could be God itself. Whatever you believe, it could be an ancestor that was very close to you, or a guide, just a spirit guide. All right, let's look at your shadow and light side. So you come through as a Samaritan. And this is the picture on the card. Now the Samaritan's light attributes are, Samaritan refines your capacity to help those you would prefer to ignore. So that you're somebody who, I guess, people would overlook certain people. You're that person that's not going to overlook them. You're going to try to help that person. You're going to try to befriend this person. You're probably somebody who is really connected to those that are considered the underdog. But your shadow side is exacting appreciation and recognition for the help you offer. So there may be, the good side to you is you love to help those that people overlook. But your shadow side may be you expect, sometimes you want something in return. You're like, hey, they didn't appreciate it, rather than just being a good Samaritan. Now, that's not saying that's how you are now. It's just saying that's a negative attribute you may have. So take whichever resonates. What you need to surrender. Surrender your fear of change, my pal number ones. The universe is reminding you that you are cared for always, whether you're afraid of a change in your job, your health, or a relationship, or if you fear aging or death. Repeat the affirmation, I have faith that all is well. Okay, I have faith that all is well. So that you are triggered, my pal number ones, by things not being familiar, the way you remember it. Maybe that's what makes you cling to old friendships, old relationships, old jobs, things that have already ran their due course, because change makes you a little nervous. You need to, their guides are coming through to tell you this, it's time now to release that hold that fear has on you, because it's going to keep you stagnant. You will not move forward because you're afraid of the new and unexpected. And your last card of advice says, you create your own reality. What you want wants you to. And the question you have to ask yourself is, what do you want to experience? It's funny, you got card number one as well as pal number one. All right. And your guides or your ancestors, because I really was calling on ancestor energy. I feel like they're good to start with when people are being introduced to intuitive knowing. But I was asking ancestors to come through and help out with this. And pretty much their message to you is to know that you are a powerful manifester. So decide on what it is, what kind of life, what kind of path, what kind of anything do you want to experience in your life, and start to really realize you are a creator of your reality. What you harp on is what you're going to call in. What you are like vibrating to is what you're going to attract. So that's why they say what you want wants you to. Because if you want and feel something with all of your heart and soul and energy, that vibration is going to be picked up and connect. All right. And you're probably feeling that energy because you're already kind of connected to that vibration or whatever it is you really want. So my pal number one, start manifesting, start remembering, stop speaking fear, stop speaking negative, stop expecting or wanting in return for what you do, and just cleanse all of that out of your energy. Get back into alignment with source. Let source energy work through you, and that's where you'll get your gifts. You don't got to worry about getting anything back from the people you help or put your hand out to and give a leg up. God got you. All right. Just continue to see what you want to see and bring into your reality, and you will. Moving to my pal number twos. If you were drawn to this is oh shoot, how my mind went blank. This is black. Oh shoot, it's not obsidian. All right, but I have another one that's obsidian. It'll come back to my head. Oh, black tourmaline. Spirit was like, no, you go and think of it right now. So this is black tourmaline. If you were attracted to this crystal or the number 2, with black tourmaline coming through or be calling to your vibration, there is a need for some kind of protection. Maybe you feel like you are energetically being attacked. Maybe you feel like people send you the evil eye. They think about you negative. Maybe you feel like you have a lot of haters. Maybe you're somebody who's really out there with your energy, and spirit is coming through to say you need to guard it. But black tourmaline is very good for repelling negative energy. So if you are anyway drawn to that, maybe there's a need for you to really watch who you keep around you, the environments you're in, or at the same time, for you to watch your vibration and make sure you keep yourself from being in a negative mindset. All right. Let's see what you need to focus on this week. Generosity is your focus this week. Almost sound like the Samaritan. Your key words are benefit, warmth, excellence, and attraction. Your power thought, which is your affirmation, I am a born champion of humanity. I am a born champion of humanity. So this, I guess, is going to be a week of you giving selflessly. Your action, yep, it is. So do a kind deed this week and smile at everyone you meet. Now, if you live in the city, you may not be able to smile at everyone you meet, because especially where I'm from. I'm living in North Carolina now, but in New York, you smile at everyone you meet, they're going to get the wrong message. Some people going to think you liking them in that way, or you're attracted to them. Some people might be like, she crazy. Why she walking around smiling at everybody? But to an extent, an ancestors just kind of nudged me like, but that's the whole point. You're shifting the energy. You're helping humanity see that it's okay to be happy. That's the problem. If you look too damn happy, people are like, you crazy, she crazy. It's all about just feeling good. All right. And your newsflash, you attract good fortune as you help others. So your ancestors are coming through to let you know the more you're doing for other people, though maybe you don't see a payoff right away, you're attracting good energy. And what that's going to do is call in blessings to you. Let's look at your light and shadow attributes. All right. You have the victim. Now, when the victim is in the light, it prevents you from letting yourself be victimized or to victimize others. So when you are in your light attribute, you refuse to let anybody make you feel like a victim. And you do not in any way, shape, or form tear anybody down to the point where they're feeling victimized by you. You're somebody who kind of can see that it's them and not you type of energy. But when you're in your shadow, playing the victim for positive feedback in the form of pity and an inability to maintain personal boundaries becomes an issue. All right. So playing the victim for positive feedback, we all know what that is. That's when you may have gone through something, and yeah, it may have affected you in a bad way, but to an extent, you continue to act like you were so distressed by this incident. Just so that somebody will boost you up and say like, oh no, so-and-so, that's not true about you, or feel better, or you're great, or you're this, or just to feel sorry for you. Oh God, I feel so bad for you. Oh my goodness. And meanwhile, you ain't going through nothing that bad that you can't get out of. That can sometimes be the negative side of the victim. Let's see what you need to surrender. Surrender defensiveness, which would be something someone who feels victimized a lot would be doing, being on the defense. But defensiveness is a sign of weakness. To communicate in a more empowered way, stay centered and hear someone out, then offer a clear, non-defensive response. So maybe because of having experiences where you felt victimized or you felt like you were the victim, you can come off as somebody who's very defensive. Somebody tells you something about yourself, you might go into a victim mode. Oh, there, people are always telling me this about myself, or I don't know how long I've always heard that, and now you're saying it. So now this person could feel bad for whatever they told you, even if it was the truth. Just watch being on the defense about everything. I'm feeling for pile number 2s. It's not everything. Take it how it resonates. It's just that sometimes you can be quick to be like, take offense to stuff, or be quick to defend yourself when it's not necessary. And what you need to question about yourself. All right, your advice, and you have 11. So that was 1, now 1, 1. These are angel numbers. If you've been in my courses, you already know what to do. But 11 is a master manifestor number. So you're really getting confirmation here that you are a manifester. What you think of, what you really feel, you draw in and attract to yourself. And it says everything is a reflection. Hold up the energetic mirror. What do you need in your life that you're not currently getting? So they're letting you know that what you see and what you experience is a reflection. It's what you put out there, what you vibrate to. That's what you're seeing back. That's what you're experiencing. So if there's something in your life that you need or you feel you need that you're currently not getting, look and see where you are not being a reflection for it. If you are always saying, I'm dumb, I'm not good enough, then if you need an opportunity where you have to have a certain amount of experience and knowledge, you're not going to get it because the vibration you're on is dumb and not good enough. So you're vibrating opposite of what it is you want. And Spirit is just coming through to say, watch what you watch what you put out there, because you're going to get your reflection. You're going to get whatever vibe you're putting out there right back at you. Okay? And that's my message for you, pile number 2s. I'm going to move to pile number 3. If you were drawn to this quartz crystal here, you're here for some clarity. Maybe you're one of my old students, I don't know. Or maybe you're just somebody right now who is like, I have an idea of what I need to work on, but I need some clarity. I need a confirmation. I need something. All right. Quartz crystal is all about making things clear, bringing you some clarity, but it's also very good for connecting to ascended masters like Jesus Christ, Buddha, and more that you probably aren't familiar with yet. Mother Mary as well. But yeah, you're here to get some clarity on some things, or you just feel like you need clarity in general about moving forward in life. So let me get you some clarity for the week ahead. Your social life is going to play a big part. It's where you need to focus this week. All right. Maybe you ain't been getting out enough. Let's see what it says. So your keywords this week are going to be passion, vitality, talent, and intimacy. Your power thought or affirmation is leisure and pleasure are essential to my wellness. Yeah, you have not been getting out enough, my pile 3s. Or when you do have leisure and pleasurable moments, you feel guilty. You don't realize you deserve them. So they want you to affirm leisure and pleasure are essential to my wellness, because it is. I know for a fact, because I suffer from burnout probably more than once in my lifetime, of course. Just recently had a burnout. Why? Because I'm not taking time for leisure, not really taking time to have fun. I mean, what I do is fun for me, but I guess they're saying doing it for fun and not from a business aspect. So we all have to take time out to just do things that are fun. Okay. Your action this week: plan a social night out this week or this coming weekend. I would say it says this weekend, but I say anytime this week or this weekend, plan a night out with a friend. Doesn't even have to be a whole bunch of people. And your news flash for the week is to enjoy yourself. Expand your circle of friends today. So maybe just being here is helping you make new friends that are going to be on the same frequency as you, the same vibration. Okay. Your archetype, the light side and the shadow. You are coming through as the engineer. Okay, the light attributes of the engineer is the ability to give creative energy a practical expression. Talent for designing resolutions to common dilemmas. Now your shadow side is reliance on mechanistic solutions without regard for emotional consequences. So the engineer is you're very talented, you're very gifted, you're very smart, you're able to come up with creative ways to do things in a more simpler or easier way. And that could even be just personal dramas and traumas. However, on your shadow side is that sometimes you are so, I feel like, in your head, overthinking things that you miss the emotional part of it. And sometimes disregard the emotions and completely stay in the head. And you have to watch that, because there's consequences when you ignore the heart and you only focus on the mind. All right. What do you need to surrender? Unhealthy relationships. That's why I said all of these piles are probably going to be vibrating to the same thing. It's always good to listen to all 3 of them. They're all about, one is surrendering to change, defensiveness, and we have unhealthy relationships. To me, a lot of it has to do with letting things go from the past. So it says, let go of relationships that don't serve you, including unavailable or toxic people. You deserve to be treasured by others and to be surrounded by positive people. To me, that is blunt. Ain't nothing else I need to read into. Straight up and down, you need to let go of relationships in your life that are not healthy. And you know what they are, is what Spirit is saying. They already know the unhealthy relationships that are in their life right now. Now, the question and the advice: to receive, you must release. right in sync with what they're saying. And they want you to ask yourself, what can you let go of? What do you want to receive? And right there, you're being told, let go of unhealthy relationships. So let's start there. Maybe there's people or relationships in your life that you want to release and let go of, but you don't really know how, or you feel a guilt, or you don't want the change. You're afraid to surrender to change. But they're asking you, what do you want to receive? Because you have to give to receive. It's a balance. So sometimes you have to let go of something to let something new come in. And at this time, they're telling you to receive the new that's trying to make its way into your life. You have to let go. You have to release some things. And then really think about it. What do I want to receive? What do I want to usher in? And like pile number 2 was told, become a reflection of what it is you want to come in. All right? Because like pile number 1 was told, you create your own reality. What you want wants you to. So I think all 3 of those were in sync. And if this is where we part ways and you're not VIP and you don't want to be nosy and hear their card pulls, I will see you tomorrow at 7 for the STEAM session. Be prepared to get up and move. We will visualize and you will get another one of my reads. If you're hanging around to be in on the VIP's card pulls, let me get my books. I got my list of people. Even if they're not here live, I will pull your card. I don't think I had that many VIPs. All right, I'm going to start with Monique. Whoa. Okay, Monique, your card jumped out. Jumped right out my hand. 9 of Wands is a message coming through for you. I'll show you the photo. 9 of Wands in the traditional tarot has to do with the wounded warrior. Somebody who feels like they put in a whole lot of work and there's still always some kind of obstacle in the way. And they're at a point now where no matter how little the obstacle is, they don't know if they could keep going on any further. But they're deciding that right at a time when they are right there and about to reach what they want, their goal. So it's always like a confirmation, keep going. All right, you're right there. With this 9 of Wands in particular, it's somebody that is actually calmly lighting candles and preparing to put some energy behind calling in what they want. Something that they're passionate about. A lot of times it has to do with work, sometimes relationships, but at this time you're being told to tap into some of your gifts to call in what you want. What you want is right there, like right there. And it feels like financial stability of some sort. And perhaps maybe you're, I don't know if you do or not, but they're showing here like tools for creating, manifesting, which people would call magic. But it's tools here that some of it is from Wiccan. And this is just from the photo, not saying you have these things at home. But they're saying that perhaps you need to be using your crystals. You need to be using some of the tools that you've learned through some of your studies, to use that to keep your fire lit and to keep pushing, because you will reach. You will be able to manifest whatever it is you're passionate about. All right. I'm going to pull. Other VIP I have is Stacy. Get your card. Now, if you are a VIP and I don't say your name, that means I did not receive your $10 VIP donation. So you would have to let me know or send me a picture of the receipt, because that means I ain't see it. Where is... I don't even see my book with my list. Where did I put my notebook? Because I did write it down. Of course, that's going to be... You know, I got all my notebooks around me, and that is the one that is not in front of me. And I don't know why. Why is that not in front of me? Because I could have sworn I was just writing. You know why it's not in front of me? Because it's the book that I literally wrote my notes in, and I put it to the side just now. Once I was like, okay, I don't need the notebook anymore. Here we go. A mess. I'm all over the place. All right, so let me look directly at this list now. Okay. So the only people I have for VIPs was Monique, Carol, Stacy, and Tisha. If anybody else submitted the $10, please let me know. I'm sorry I didn't see it or I didn't receive it. Okay, Stacy, let me pull your card. You have the 8 of Wands. All right, a lot of you guys are manifestors and, you know, maybe you're not doing it. Your 8 of Wands was reversed. The 8 of Wands in this tarot deck is somebody who has a connection to source energy in some sort of way, shape, or form that you can call on. You can call on source when you need assistance. And I feel like your solar plexus is lit in this picture. Sometimes there's a confidence block. Sometimes you're feeling a lack of confidence, a lack of self-esteem, or maybe feeling like you can't do something or make something happen. And this is like confirmation that the power exists within yourself. If it's something you're passionate about, the creator is assisting you with it. If you see that energy coming in from above and going straight to the solar plexus there, and it's like she's basking in that light and that energy. They want you to make sure you keep your connection to source energy, to understand you're also connected to your ancestors. And when you need assistance, when you feel like you can't go any further, call on your ancestors. Call on that energy. That's what I'm hearing for you. Another card jumped off. I'll take it. Knight of Swords. No, sorry, Page of Swords is coming through. So, and on this, in this one, it's almost giving me the feeling of talk to your spirit guides. This girl has a kite with a picture of a loved one on it, and she's sending it up to heaven. It's the picture of a female on the kite. And it's like she's trying to send a message up to the heavens or remind an ancestor, I still remember you, I still think of you down here. Call on your ancestors and higher powers. They are listening. They are there to support you in whatever you need. Okay. Letitia, pull your card. They had a little too much to say there. Let me shuffle one more time. When I split the deck, I see the Queen of Pentacles. So maybe you're moving into energy where you're going to be vibrating more material wealth, more comfort. All right. The Hermit. So you're doing spiritual growth right now. You're learning new things. You're increasing your wisdom, and you're being encouraged to continue to do so. You may be alone a lot, and we talked about that today. The Hermit literally is the hermit, spending most of their time alone to go within, to gain more spiritual wisdom, to really find what their truth is. And that's what you're being encouraged to do at this time, as well as stay in that Queen of Pentacles vibration. I'm telling you. Okay, last but not least, Miss Carol. The Page of Cups is coming through. So, Miss Carol, I don't know where it's going to come from, but somebody wants to talk to you and share with you how much they love you, how much they see themselves, how they see you in them. I feel like it's a family member, somebody that it looks like a resemblance to you. So I feel like it's someone that's related to you, maybe your son, or it could be a grandchild or anything. But I feel like it's a son that wants to really come through with a message of how they feel. So it may be something coming your way with an outpouring of emotions. Yeah, the Knight of Pentacles is right under that. So that's two masculine energies coming through. The Knight of Pentacles is very slow moving with what he's doing because he's very meticulous. He plants his seeds very carefully, making sure everything gets attention and it grows in the time that it needs to grow. And that's why the Knight of Pentacles tends to have great crops, because they are patient. Okay, so Maybe he's not rushing in with this message of love, but somewhere inside him, he's going to be called to do so, to reflect on his feelings for you. And that's something you just needed to know, I guess, this week. Maybe coming in is what I'm feeling. Or I'm getting sun, but it could just be a woman with a masculine energy. That's what I have for you. So, VIPs, ain't it great being a VIP? There's something else coming for you. It'll probably not get to you till late night when I send out the email. My patrons, tomorrow you're gonna get a link, and you're gonna get a 30-minute early. You were supposed to get 30-minute early access today, but I was so thrown off by my website, my emails being stupid, and then somebody else in a totally different program telling me my website link wasn't working, and they were the ones that were doing it wrong, that I did not get a chance to send y'all the link. So it's coming. Don't worry. All right, guys. On that note, I'm going to let you go. If you have to eat dinner, get ready for work tomorrow. Do what you got to do. Also, take a look at the sale I'm having. It's only for this week while I'm doing this free workshops. If you want cards pulled, send me an inbox of what it is you want me to focus on. Send me an inbox. Send me a message to my inbox. And if you want 1 card, 2 card, 3 card, or 4 cards pulled, and then I'll send you the link for payment, and we go from there. I'll send you an MP3 recorded voice message right to your inbox. So that's if you want a little bit more in depth or more personal. If you need a full reading, then you got to go to the website, steamholisticarts.com/book-a-reading. And on that note, peace, blessings, and all that good stuff that comes from being a part of my tribe. Later, y'all.